Imagine the world ending in fire and radiation. Buildings vanish. Life is wiped out. But one tiny creature survives. How? Let's find out. Meet the tardigrade, also known as the water bear. It's smaller than a grain of sand, but it can survive things that would kill every other living thing on Earth. It has survived in space, boiling water, and even frozen temperatures close to absolute zero. But what about a nuclear explosion? Can this tiny animal really survive something so deadly? Stay with me, because the answer might shock you. Tardigrades are one of the toughest creatures on Earth. They've been around for over 500 million years, long before dinosaurs. They live in the deep sea, in the highest mountains, and even in your backyard. But what makes them so special? How do they survive things that would kill even the toughest animals? Scientists have spent years studying this tiny survivor, and what they found is unbelievable. Today, we'll explore the secrets of the tardigrade, its hidden powers, its survival tricks, and whether it could actually live through a nuclear explosion. And here's a question for you if you had to face the end of the world. What's the one survival skill you'd want the most? Tell me in the comments. Tardigrades are micro-animals, meaning they are so tiny you need a microscope to see them. They grow up to just 0.5 millimeters, about the size of a dust particle, but don't let their small size fool you. These creatures are tougher than steel. They have short, plump bodies with 8 tiny legs. Each leg has little claws, almost like a microscopic bear. That's why they are called water bears. They are found almost everywhere inside moss, deep in the ocean, on mountaintops, and even in Antarctica. No matter where they live, they find a way to survive. Scientists have discovered over 1,300 species of tardigrades, each one slightly different, but all sharing the same extreme survival abilities. Some prefer fresh water, others live in soil, and some are even found in hot springs. These creatures have adapted to every environment on Earth, making them one of the most widespread life forms. But how do they do it? How can a creature this small handle things that would kill everything else? To understand that, we need to look at what happens in a nuclear explosion. A nuclear explosion is one of the most destructive forces known to man. It destroys everything in 3 deadly ways: heat, shock waves, and radiation. First comes the heat. The fireball from a nuclear bomb can reach temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. Everything nearby burns instantly. Even metal melts in seconds. If an animal or human is caught in this zone, there is no chance of survival. Then comes the shock wave. The explosion creates a massive blast of air that moves faster than a hurricane. Buildings collapse. Trees are ripped from the ground. Anything close to the explosion is wiped out in seconds. But the most dangerous part? Radiation. A nuclear bomb releases an intense amount of radiation. This radiation can tear apart living cells, causing sickness, mutations, and death. It can make an area unlivable for years. Even if someone survives the initial blast, exposure to radiation can lead to deadly illnesses like cancer. For humans, exposure to high radiation is fatal. But for tardigrades, it's a different story. Radiation is deadly because it damages DNA. Once DNA is broken, cells can't function properly, leading to illness or death. But tardigrades have a special trick up their sleeve. They produce a unique protein called D-sub, short for damage suppressor. This protein protects their DNA like an invisible shield. Even if radiation tries to break their cells, D-sub helps keep them intact. In lab experiments, scientists exposed tardigrades to radiation levels hundreds of times higher than what would kill a human. The result? Most of them survived without any damage. This makes tardigrades one of the most radiation-resistant creatures on Earth. Even if a nuclear explosion releases deadly radiation, tardigrades have a strong chance of survival. But what if things get worse? What if there's no food, no water, or extreme temperatures? Tardigrades have another survival trick: they shut down their bodies. This is called cryptobiosis. When conditions become too harsh, tardigrades dry themselves out. They curl up, lose almost all their water, and enter a deep, sleep-like state. In this form, they can survive for years, even decades, without food or water. Their metabolism slows down to 0.01% of normal. almost stopping completely. In this state, they are nearly indestructible. No air, no problem. Freezing cold, they'll wait it out. High radiation, they'll sleep through it. Then, when conditions become normal again, they wake up like nothing happened. A single drop of water is enough to bring them back to life. This ability helps them survive everything, from nuclear radiation to space travel. If you think tardigrades only survive on Earth, think again. Scientists have sent them into outer space, one of the harshest environments known to science. In 2007, a group of tardigrades was sent on a mission aboard the European Space Agency's Photon M3 spacecraft. They were exposed to the vacuum of space, deadly cosmic radiation, and extreme temperatures. Not only did they survive, but some even reproduced in space. No other known animal can do that. But space isn't the only extreme environment where tardigrades thrive. They have been tested in boiling water, over 150 degrees Celsius, frozen conditions, close to absolute zero, 273 degrees Celsius. Deep sea pressure thousands of times stronger than on land. No matter what conditions they face, they adapt and survive. Even if their DNA does get damaged, tardigrades have another secret weapon. They can repair their DNA faster than any other known creature. In normal animals, once DNA is broken, it stays broken. That's why radiation is so deadly. But tardigrades rebuild their genetic material, fixing damage before it can harm them. This makes them nearly invincible. While other animals struggle to recover from radiation exposure, tardigrades heal themselves and keep going. Another interesting fact: tardigrades don't have any natural predators. Most tiny creatures are eaten by bigger ones, but tardigrades are so small and hidden that they rarely get noticed. They live deep in soil, moss, and water, away from harm. Even when faced with dangerous environments, they simply enter cryptobiosis and wait it out. This means they can survive disasters without even trying. Now that we know their secrets, let's go back to our big question. Can a tardigrade really survive a nuclear explosion? The answer is yes and no. If a tardigrade were at the exact center of a nuclear blast, it would not survive. The intense heat and pressure would vaporize anything in the area. No living thing could survive that. But if a tardigrade were far enough away, outside the fireball zone, it would likely survive. The deadly radiation wouldn't be a big problem for them. Their D-sub protein would protect their DNA. Their cryptobiosis state would allow them to shut down and wait for safer conditions, and their self-repairing ability would help them recover from any damage. So while humans and most animals would struggle in the aftermath of a nuclear explosion, tardigrades would simply wait it out and keep going. They've survived mass extinctions, space travel, and extreme environments. A nuclear war? Just another challenge for them. Nature is full of surprises. If a creature this small can survive the worst disasters, imagine what else might be out there. Could there be other life forms with even stronger survival skills? And what if humans could learn from tardigrades? Could we develop better protection against radiation? Could science unlock secrets to healing damaged DNA? What do you think? If you found this amazing, hit the like button and subscribe for more mind-blowing facts. And tell us in the comments, if you had a survival superpower, what would it be? Would you want to resist fire, heal yourself, or maybe survive in space like a tardigrade? Let's hear your thoughts.